Have you ever poured out your soul in prayer, only to open your eyes and see nothing's changed? I'm talking about those moments when you pray until your heart aches, but your situation stubbornly refuses to budge. Maybe you've even whispered, "God, are you listening?" You're definitely not alone. Today, we're digging into why our prayers sometimes hit what feels like a brick wall, and more importantly, what you might be missing. We'll walk through frustration, unpack spiritual principles like alignment and season, and get practical about what to do differently. Ready to discover why silent prayers matter? Let's get real together. Let's be completely honest. You've prayed about that job, that relationship, your health, your finances, maybe you've even fasted, believed, done everything right, and yet nothing seems to change. Sound familiar? Nobody really talks about what happens when "just pray and it'll be fine" doesn't work. That's when the frustration creeps in. You start to wonder, is God ignoring me? Am I doing something wrong? Doubt grows, frustration grows, and for some, quietly, so does the urge to give up on prayer altogether. Let's pause. Have you ever found yourself secretly comparing your silent prayers to someone else's miracle story? It's easy to feel left out. But what if the silence isn't rejection, but an invitation to look deeper? Now, let's explore what's really happening when God seems quiet. Let me gently correct a common fear. God is not deaf to your prayers. He's not far away, and he's definitely not indifferent. Psalm 34-15 tells us, "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry." That means God's attention is sharper than a satellite dish, picking up the faintest signal. So, if God really hears you, why do you feel ignored? Now, you might be thinking, if God's so attentive, why is my life still stuck? Great question. Sometimes, the disconnect isn't about God's hearing, but about what he knows we truly need. Let's unpack what might be missing in the way we pray. Here's where it gets practical. Maybe you've been praying, but your life is moving in the opposite direction. Imagine prayer as setting your GPS if you keep driving the wrong way. The signal doesn't help. James 4-3 says, "You ask and do not receive, because you ask amiss." That's misalignment. Or maybe you're craving instant answers. But God isn't Amazon Prime. He's more like a master chef, preparing the best meal in its season. Ecclesiastes 3-1. There's another blocker. Things we can't let go of. Unforgiveness, toxic habits, or secret disobedience can clog the spiritual pipeline. Think of it like trying to water a plant with a hose that's kinked. So ask yourself, am I aligned with God's will? Am I patient for my season? Have I made space for God to move? If any answer is not yet, that just might be your breakthrough key. Let's shift gears. Real prayer is way more than a wish list. It's not just saying words, it's becoming someone new through the process. Maybe you pray, but deep down, you don't believe it'll happen. "You're not alone" doubt is like static on a radio, distorting the message. James 1-6 urges us to ask in faith, with no doubting. Faith in prayer is like putting your foot on the gas and trusting the car will move, even if you can't see the engine at work. Often, God's answer isn't a change in circumstances, but a change in you, growth, patience, wisdom. That's spiritual formation, like an athlete training for a marathon instead of a sprint. So, when you pray, look for the transformation, not just the transaction. That's when prayer truly becomes powerful. Let's bring it all together. First, just because God is silent doesn't mean he's absent. Second, the lack of visible change doesn't mean nothing's happening sometimes. God is working deeper than you know. Third, your prayers and tears are never wasted. God is weaving together all things for your good, even if the pattern takes time to appear. That's Romans 8. 28 inches action, like a tapestry seen from the back before the front is revealed. So what's your next step? Don't stop praying. Take one new action. Try listening as much as you talk, and start aligning your actions with your prayers. Now, maybe you're wondering, but what if I never see the answer I want? Next episode, we'll tackle how to handle God's no and find peace in the process, so stay tuned. If this spoke to you, share it with someone discouraged in prayer. Remember, God still hears you, always.